would be really, really fun to do. We've got 2 of the recreations containers. And Larry has some foliage, and I have some foliage. And we're going to be designing in tandem. And we haven't rehearsed this or practiced this, but we're going to have some fun. So, the first thing that we're going to do, I'm going to add my curly willow into this first.
Okay.
So we've got some really, really tall curly willow. And this is all fresh designing that we're doing. So tall curly willow, we're going to look for shape. And I'm going to arc mine kind of one way. And I'm using branch cutters. We're just going to insert that into the foam. We've just got 2 bricks of foam and they're up on their side. That's enough? Okay. So then we'll start to add in our foliage. Someone said in the front row, oh, she uses a knife. How many of you are knife people? Just curious, knife people? How many of you are cutter people? Okay, if you're using cutters, just make sure your cutters are sharp and you have a blade on both sides. Does that make sense? Okay, sharp, clean, and a blade on both sides. I was taught with a knife, so I use a knife. Okay, so we're going to green with a little salal first. Is this how you normally start yours?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When I use a knife, I think I am personally a lot faster than if I use a cutter. You use a knife?
Yep.
Yeah.
Every day.
So I'm just going to base this out with a little foliage.
I always love that permanent tattoo of all the knife cuts on the end of your thumb. That's why I don't have to go get a tattoo.
We decided we were going to get a tattoo.
Yeah.
We're going to get matching tattoos.
What we came up with, we'd still be healing from it.
Or what?
We'd still be healing from it.
Okay. So when I'm designing in fresh, do I green first or do I flower first? And the answer is yes. Sometimes I green first and sometimes I flower first. This we're going to do a base of greens, and I'm going to stop right about here so I've got plenty of open space in this. Next thing I'm going to add is my lime. So I'm going to add my Italian ruscus. An Italian ruscus you can massage gently so it will actually conform to how you want it to go. So you can bend it a little bit. You can manipulate certain foliages. I'm going to have mine coming out the side. And just bending it a little bit, manipulating a little bit. Can create some nice drama. How are we doing so far? Good? All right. We had one woohoo, that's good. Okay. Equisetum. Equisetum is something you can really have a lot of fun with by binding or bending or wiring.
Some binding wire?
We have some bind wire. I actually cut a bunch of it just a minute ago.
Right.
Okay. So we've got some bind wire ties that I already cut.
We're going to go inside and bend it for the curly willow.
So we're going to go inside and bend it toward the curly willow. And this one's already pre-bent. And they're going to be a little different. But we can take these little ties and just bind them on. And I'm not going to worry about trimming them, because what I can do with the ends, since this is curly willow, is just coil them around my finger. Bind those in place. You can actually insert a wire up through the equisetum and wire it that way.
Just going to do 3.
I'm going to do 3 for now.
Okay.
We've got gorgeous flowers. I think the rest of the foliage I'm going to save. Some of the more specialty foliage I usually save for top dressing. So I've got my salal, that's my basic everyday go-to foliage. Some use leather leaf as a basic everyday go-to foliage. Then some of the other foliages we're going to top dress after we get this done. So I'm going to, do you want to do bells or glads?
I'll do bells.
All right. So Larry's going to design with the bells of Ireland.
3 leaves in on this side.
You can put the 3 leaves in on that side. So we've got variegated fascia. Where you got it? Cool?
Perfect.
Okay. Larry's going to design with the Bells of Ireland, and I'm going to go to my go-to favorite flower in the absolute world. Anybody know what my go-to favorite flower in the absolute world is? Gladiolus. My father and my grandfather hybridized gladiolus. At one point, there was one named after me. It was pink. March, yes. It was pink with a cream throat. If you know about gladiolus, a 500 is a large bloom. And so pink cream throat, they stopped making it a long time ago. But, so we've got a line. Larry's going to come with the glads. I'm going to go more upright and vertical with her. Larry's got the bells. I'm going to go in more vertical with my gladiolus. And just create a really strong line up in front of that curved look. All right, shift. All right. And I'm working on both sides of the curly willow, front and back, to create a little more depth in the arrangement. They're going to be similar, but different. Got some great flowers. The Bells of Ireland, all the rest of the flowers that we're using are from Royal Flowers. It was really nice to raid their display over there because they have some beautiful, beautiful blooms. Where do you want to go next?
Let's see.
Let's go.
How about the stock?
We'll go with the stock. We've got some plum and some purple stock. So if you notice, we're really starting with our lime flowers.
Do the fuchsia.
We'll do the fuchsia. Okay. I'll do the fuchsia. I have more. Ooh. Okay. So I think I'm going to come around to the front side so I can actually see what I'm doing. And I'm going to create a line that's going to continue the gladiolas, but we're going to go out to the side and to the front. And then Larry's going to come up with the purple. I think I'm just going to do 5. Maybe 6. We're going to come out a little bit further. I want that Fatsia leaf to show. So we're going to switch sides, and Larry's going to come over on this side. Tandem design is like tag team. So I'm going to do the same thing. These are mirror image arrangements. And the color combination, this is just going to be really bright, fun, summer pop. Okay, another question. How many of you are throw it on the floor people? How many of you work very neatly with the trash can to my left or right? I'm a throw it on the floor person. If you notice, Larry's a throw it on the floor person too.
Knee deep. Better. Your feet don't hurt quite so bad. Okay. I'm going to go base yellow. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go with some hot pink roses. Larry's going to go with some yellow. Where are you going? I'm going to come right over here. I'm going to go to the inside. And I'm going to mask, these are gorgeous hot pink roses. So I'm going to mask these right in the center. Just toward the center of this big arrangement. I'm going to place some of the roses really, really deep into the arrangement, and some of the roses are going to come out a little bit. So even though they're all in a mass, they're going to have some depth to the whole thing. So this rose, I'm going to pull out a little bit further than those other two. So I have some depth. I'm going to sink some of them really, really deep. Okay, so now we're going to talk about repetition. Again, I'm going to repeat the part about repetition. We've got those yellow roses that Larry's got out the one side. We don't have any other yellow in the arrangement. So I'm going to come back with yellow tulips. and give another pop of yellow. The other colors in the arrangement so far are really, really similar. Plums, purples, raspberries, hot pinks. Yellow sort of stands out. We've repeated yellow on one side and on the other. Now we're going to carry it the rest of the way through. And know that tulips are going to stretch. So when you're doing your designing, and you're doing it a few days in advance, know that the tulips are going to stretch in the design. If you're doing tulips in a bridal bouquet, think about sinking them deeper into the bouquet than you otherwise would, because you know they're going to stretch. What we find is when we do homegrown tulips, so we have greenhouses, so homegrown tulips stretch like twice as fast as any other tulip. Just be aware of how that flower is going to behave. And Larry's going to come back with the Mambo spray roses. Again, these are all we pillaged from Royal Flowers, and super impressive product to work with.
They've got that beautiful tulip rose lily back there. We'll have to show that.
And the rose lily is a softer pink. I think we're going to feature it because it's the most unique shape that we have. Did you see the rose lilies? Absolutely gorgeous. It's like a double, triple, quadruple lily. Isn't that beautiful? And I think even though it's a soft pink, it's deep enough pink that if we pull that right into the center and jet it out a bit, I think that's going to work. So we're going to use this as a focal. I'm going to tip off that. If you're using a flower that's you're not using the entire stem. Let's say you're cutting apart a piece of stock and using it in 2 insertions. Make sure you trim off that little nubby where you cut, so it's not just like blank stem. We're part of a co-op delivery service, and we deliver other florists' arrangements to other parts of town that we're closer to. And sometimes we see some designs that go, it either broke off in transit, or they forgot to cut off that little nubby part. So I'll come through on the other side. And we're going to pop these lilies just right over in the middle of the tulips. Yeah, in the middle of the tulips and those spray roses. Just to feature those right in the center. Okay, so we got the lilies, we got the glads, we got the equiseta, we've got nice mirror image arrangements. And then Larry's going to roll some aspidistra. And the easiest way to roll aspidistra is exactly what he did. Just roll it and insert the stem through. You can even do as simple as this, and then insert.
What's nice about when you do this, you could actually do like about 3 leaves on an entire arrangement. If you put your oasis small enough, you can actually base like 3 of these real tight around, poke your flowers in, that's all you have to do with greens. Add a little bit of bare grass or something, your whole arrangement's totally green.
And again, when you keep that level of foam below the container, it's very easy. It's a whole lot easier to cover up if you only use the amount of foam that you need.
One last one on the very bottom now.
Very bottom and out. Loose.
Just shooting straight up.
Front side. Side.
Straight out.
Straight out the front.
Out the side.
Front or side, Larry. Front or side.
Way out
Okay.
there.
Then we've got some seeded eucalyptus. This is what I would call more of a specialty foliage. And we're going to make that drape out as well. So this is all very textural. We've got the smooth leaves, the smaller seeded eucalyptus, just to give it a lot of texture. Can't find foam. There we go. How are we doing?
Good.
Now to try to sell it. Well, actually, the selling of this, where would I use this? an entryway, place card table, sympathy with grandpa right in the middle.
In his rocker?
Yep. So now I've got a little bundle, and just like Larry and I think work really well together. I think we complement each other really, really well. So working together side by side on two separate arrangements, but making them all one unified piece in the end, that's what we're going for.
Love it. Yeah.
A little bit of the seed eucalyptus up in the top. Yep. And then we've got these bright orange monarch butterflies, a little dash of yellow. And we're going to pull them all the way through the center. How many you got?
I have one left.
The last one right on the top. Are we going to use a thistle at all? Oh, you know what? Yeah. I love Orangium. You get a stem, I get a stem. Again, for texture, I'm just going to pull it right out of the side with the seeded eucalyptus. Kind of out of the front. Have you seen the variety of Orangium called Magical? It's magical. It's blue magical and green magical, and if you look at the center of all the Orangium, it's as if you took all those centers and clustered them together like popcorn in the middle. It's magical. Very, very cool. The oasis is, this oasis is just flat level with the container. It's not up high. If this was going to be up very, very tall, and you wanted a significant drape, and you needed to get that oasis over the side of the container so you could insert like this, yes, by all means, raise that oasis, but we didn't need to do that for this. And then the last thing is I have to show you is this is the most amazing, stunning, fresh lavender. You can smell it. This is from Royal Flowers. And this is that top dressing, and I think probably right up with the purple. Can you smell it? This is so super tall. I'm going to put mine right up in the back. This is a little added fragrance, a little added texture. My mom's favorite soap was Yardley English Lavender. I cannot smell this lavender without thinking of my mom. And look at the foliage on this. That in itself, super great texture. So I'm going to go ahead and use that and tuck that in back. And if you notice, we talk about time-saving techniques. I took like 4 or 5 pieces together. It's got a stiff enough stem. You can just cut those all at once, one insertion, and because of the way it's used, nice fresh smell of lavender.